am I the butthole for telling my dad's new wife she'll never be my mom? Hey Reddit, I 25F have been dealing with a complicated family situation, and after a recent argument, I'm feeling conflicted about whether I went too far. I hope you all can give me some perspective on this. First, some background. My mom passed away when I was 16. It was sudden and devastating. My mom and I were incredibly close, and her death shattered me. My dad, 55M, did his best to support me, but we both dealt with our grief in very different ways. I turned inward, focusing on school and my friends, while my dad struggled and eventually started dating a few years later. When I was 19, my dad met Karen, 45F. At first, I was happy for him. I figured he deserved to find happiness again, especially after everything we had been through. I didn't mind that he was moving on, but I always felt like Karen was a bit much. She was overly involved, trying to insert herself into every part of our family dynamic, especially with me. She's always been friendly and tried to be supportive, but I could tell from early on that she wanted to be more than just dad's girlfriend to me. I've always kept a polite distance from Karen. I never felt like I needed a replacement mom, and I've been open with my dad about that. My mom's memory is very important to me, and I didn't want anyone to fill that role, especially someone I barely knew. My dad understood and didn't push, but Karen, well, she just kept trying. Fast forward to last year, my dad and Karen got married. By then, I had mostly accepted her presence in our lives, though we weren't particularly close. But lately, Karen has been crossing boundaries that make me uncomfortable. She started calling herself my mom in casual conversations, like when introducing me to her friends or making family plans. She even once referred to me as her daughter in a Facebook post, which felt like a slap in the face. I never said anything directly to her because I didn't want to cause drama, but inside, it really bothered me. I feel like my mom's place in my life is sacred, and it's not something I'm willing to replace or share. Things came to a head at a family gathering a few weeks ago. It was a small dinner party with close family and friends. Everything was fine until Karen decided to give a toast. In her speech, she went on about how she felt so blessed to be a mother to me now and how happy she was that we're finally a complete family. I couldn't believe it. This wasn't the first time she had said something like this, but this time, it felt like she was erasing my mom's memory completely. I didn't say anything during the toast, but I was boiling inside. After the dinner, I pulled Karen aside privately and told her that I needed to set some boundaries. I told her that while I appreciate her being kind to me over the years, she would never be my mom, and I don't see her in that way. I explained that my mom's memory is incredibly important to me, and trying to take on the role of mom feels disrespectful to what I went through after losing her. I said I didn't want her to keep referring to herself as my mother or acting like she's filling that role in my life. Karen didn't take it well. She started crying and told me she's only ever wanted to help me and be there for me as a mother figure, especially since she knows how hard it's been without my mom. She said she wasn't trying to replace my mom, just to support me and my dad as part of the family. I didn't doubt that she had good intentions, but I stood by what I said. I don't need or want her to be my mother, and I made it clear that I wasn't backing down. Later that night, my dad pulled me aside. He said I was being too harsh on Karen and that I should have just let it go. He explained that Karen's feelings were hurt, and she's been trying so hard to be a part of my life. My dad told me that Karen sees me as family, and I need to accept that she's here to stay. He thinks I owe her an apology for being so blunt and hurting her feelings. Now, Karen has been distant, and things at family events are tense. My dad keeps telling me I should make things right, but I feel like my boundaries are important. Some of my relatives, especially on my dad's side, think I should just let Karen play the mom role since it seems to make her happy, and they've even said I'm lucky to have someone who cares so much. But I don't think they understand the emotional weight of losing my real mom and how hard it is to feel like her place in my life is being replaced. Part of me wonders if I was too cold in how I handled it. Maybe I should have been more sensitive to Karen's feelings, but I don't think I'm wrong for wanting to keep that boundary. My mom was irreplaceable, and that's something I want to hold on to. So Reddit, am I the butthole for telling my dad's new wife she'll never be my mom?